Hi, Allison, and welcome to your Akashic Records reading. I love doing these, and I just got the cards that I was going to be using for this session. Like from the moment that we interact synergy wise, which is pretty much when I click your reading, I start to pick out all the pieces that I'm going to need to help you with whatever you're going through at this time, right? And we're doing this through our electromagnetic field. So I become magnetized to whatever's going on with you. So first and foremost, I got drawn to this frequency that I'm playing in the background right now, just so you know what's going on back there. That is actually 777, which you know most of the time that's luck. You see it everywhere at the casino, right? But this one is actually pure happiness. Alpha waves for dopamine and serotonin boost. So that lets me know that this is an activation session. I also did sort of get that you might be going through I don't want to say heavy time right now, but there's a little bit of static in your energy. This will help you understand why that's going on. And that's sort of been a theme with some of the sessions I'm doing today, mainly probably because it's Scorpio season. What happens is, in order for you to rise to the vibration of what you want, if you are not exactly in alignment with your manifestation, something in your field has to be cleared out in order for that to be possible. So what you would do is you would have this foggy time period, or a time where all the pain and stuff that's still in your body or still in your field has to come up and process in some way, shape, or form. But it's like going down to the bottom so you can scrape it out and then use that as fuel to rise back up. The best way I can think of explaining that is like how coal turns into diamonds, or even coal turns into fire. It's just you're going through a transmutation phase, which is the theme of the Scorpio energy. So we're going to look through your Akashic record today, which is the energetic library that hangs above the earth. Well, not the record, but the Akashic library, where your book is in the Akashic field, is what I was getting. Hold on. I always say it's a library to make it easier for everybody to understand, but in this moment I was getting that it's sort of like a frequency, like a radio station, and my mind has just been turning it into a library this whole time to make it easier for me to understand. I'll accept that. So what happens is I tap into that station, and in my mind it looks like a library, and literally I go walk over to your book and I pick it up, and this book has every story connected to your soul signature from the time that you separated from source to like light years beyond where we are right now, because time doesn't exist anywhere but here. So we'll get to find out what you were doing as soon as you separated from the Most High. If you were a starseed, if you were a rock, a tree, demon, you know, whatever. You could have had a really good time while you were here. So I'm going to start by using this Akashic Tarot deck, right, as my library card. Let's see what you most need to know today, and then the rest of the session is going to be based on that. What does Allison most need to know today? What does Allison most need to know today? You did want to ascend to some new goals, and that's what I'm going to be helping you with. And I'm going to show you this. So whatever seeds you planted in the summer are going to be cultivated during the winter. That is why you're going to feel this lull right here, but you got to clean it out in order to rise up in the air, to go where you want to ascent wise. This is a process of growth. And you have a spirit team of guides just sort of hanging around you, sort of giving you signs all the time about which direction to go. And I'm getting, you get more synchronicities than the average person. Like you might see number 222 go past you, and then you'll turn around and then you'll look at your receipt because you're at the store or something, and then you'll see 222 on the receipt. Like your synchronicities stalk you, but it's because they're right there all the time trying to let you know, hey, this is real. Because you have a position as a librarian. Crazy, right? Interesting that you picked this reading then, because this means that you have this gift as well. You just will translate things that are in people's Akashic records, and you might not even necessarily need cards. But in order to open up the channel so you're used to using it, I would recommend getting this deck. I use it as a library card. Now I sort of use it as a crutch, but I don't need it. Like I just really recently realized, somebody was talking to me in the comments and they asked me a question And I was able to tap into that person right there and answer their question. It was like, holy shit. But once you're in there, once you get used to like cultivating the energy or understanding where you're going in there, it will stream through you like it's your own thought. So with that being said, it is time to find out where you are on your spiritual journey. And I love how this comes together because remember, I had the decks picked out already for this. The second one that I had was already in my lap. Like it knew it was next. So this is one of my favorite. The Chronicles of Destiny. You know how I was just telling you I was using it as a crutch. So I'm actually going to start a giveaway sometime this week, and I will be giving away all of my decks one by one. I'm going to let my babies go. But this, I can't let this go. I brought this in person. And when I first saw it, because it looked like a book, I fell in love. Just because I do so much stuff through the Akashic Records. 5:55 on the clock. So the Chronicles of Destiny sort of mirrors your hero's journey. We all go through a hero's journey with the rising being, what type of hero we are coming into, what hero energy we are going to blend into, right? So let's see what that is for you and where you are on that journey. So where is Allison right now in her hero's journey? My eyes got jarred for a second. I got shook up because I saw 606 and somebody had just wrote me a minute ago. And they were saying 606 aligned with the energy of Ma'at, the goddess of balance in relationships and judgment and pulling stuff together. So let's see what that means for you. Yep. So if you were doing really good and life was progressing and you just don't know why suddenly these weird feelings are popping up, it's to clear them out. And what's getting my attention right now is the tears. So you store pain that is unprocessed in your kidneys, right? When you cry, you release the stuff that's stagnant. Energetically, like spiritual energy and negative eon wise, when you do not release the feeling of something, it just stays in your body. Crying helps release that. Some people don't cry, they work out. So sweat helps to release that. Urine helps to release that. All of these different water elements release the emotions in your body that have been built up. So if you were 8 years old, just as a petty example, right? You're 8 years old, had a birthday party, your cousin smashed your cake and you couldn't afford to like replace it. That crushed you at 8, right? You couldn't cry about it because your parents are just like, come on, it's just a cake, baby, we're fine. Here you go, 20 something years later, right? And one day somebody has a birthday party next to you and it's a little girl and you don't know why suddenly like, there's this nasty feeling in your chest and you want to cry. Now you don't let it go because you can't connect the dot to why you suddenly want to cry. But it's because that feeling was re-triggered because it's something that you need to release based upon where your manifestations are guiding you. So say for instance, you see this car, like your dream car, right? Like, ooh, I need that Ferrari. Bottom line, I gotta have that. That moment that little girl's cake went by you, it was about the wish that you probably would have made that day with that cake, right? So if you had allowed yourself to cry, even though you didn't know what the reason was, it suddenly like would have came to you over time, the reason when you released, right? But that would have opened up the space in your field for you to make your way to that Ferrari. And then suddenly all your synchronicities will start lining up with Ferrari, blah, 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 right? Until you got to it. That is how this process is going to work for you. It looks like you actually wanted a home. This is Shooting Star and this is Castle. You are coming towards the end of a journey. Victory as at the end of that, and to align with, now look how good this shit is, right? I'm sorry, I keep cussing, I'm so excited. You see the design over there, right? At the end, behind your victory. Can't make this up. Bliss. You were almost to the end. So this is you scraping the bottom of the barrel. Because you need that gunpowder. You need that coal to help ignite where you want to go. You want a nice house. You want to rest in this nice house. It's a castle. Like literally, this is the house. There's even water by it. And you know how much real estate by water costs. As soon as they got a little lake or watering hole and they want to charge all that money, that's not going to be a problem. You are not going to be limited in what you want house-wise because You've already done the work for it earlier in life. This is your reward for what you've already accomplished and everything coming up behind that. So, with that being said, I am drawing down to the money deck. What does Allison need to know about her finances or connecting her funnels in order to receive this inheritance? The inheritance is sort of your reparations for everything that you've been through in this life, everything you accomplished, and for appeasing your Saturn. Didn't I tell you your gifts were going in another direction? Spirituality. So, use money magic spells to increase your wealth and prosperity. A spiritual advisor, healer, tarot reader, or anything into the occult. You're being guided to discover your unique spiritual path right now. This is a level up, okay? Because it looks like the feelings that you're feeling, and I'm so happy this popped up because the sadness was in there too, are from unfulfillment. You're not happy. This is not enough. It's like you're at that point when, all right, you've been a human, you've been doing human things, but you're like, there's got to be more to life than this. Just something ain't hitting. So you could have an emotional attachment to a job that is no longer serving you. Explore your wants and needs and consider a change. You're unhappy with your income, but too scared to make any changes. This new gift that you get, even if you end up working for somebody else and you don't start a business, even though I feel like you can start a business, you are going to be able to use your new gifts in the job in a way that makes you so freaking efficient that you're going to end up moving up the ladder rapidly. Work smart. You see this Einstein? Imagine you work for somebody else, but they don't know anything about the Akashic records. They're just a muggle. Regular human, right? That means when they have questions about something or need ideas, here you are with the key, the library card to the... My mind said the Met, but I'm like, that's a museum. But let's say there is a spiritual version of the Met where all the art that's ever been, all the high-end stuff is, and you are pulling out these genius ideas all the time at every board meeting. You can go from whatever you're doing now to like 6 figures or more. You can go to working remotely because like your teacher's pet is the energy I'm getting. Whoever you're going to work for, if you decide to go that route, you're going to be like their golden goose, their right hand. Like they will not be able to afford to lose you, so they're going to pay you what you need to be paid. You might even still start a business anyway as your passive income. Money is in the future, if that wasn't clear. So, are you making it harder than it has to be? Sometimes the solutions are simple. Perhaps it's time to clean house personally and professionally to start with a clean palette. Stick to basic needs when it comes to spending and put some money aside because you're about to make a shift. You're about to make a hop. You have been manifesting a hop, and manifesting is one of your gifts, is what I'm getting. You have all the tools you need to increase your income. Good fortune is coming soon. An opportunity may come to you where you can showcase your talent. This is so good. I am so happy for you. You better go in there and flip your hair because you're going to know it. Off top. This gives me the energy of somebody who's in like ad marketing or something. That would be a great field to take this gift into. Imagine that your mind could tap into the collective consciousness and the demographics based upon the product that somebody needs you to sell. Then you would come up with an ad or a marketing campaign for something, and it would hit every single person that needed that thing. You would be, unexpendable. I don't know if unexpendable is a thing, but no, a priceless gift they cannot live without once they are hired. They have hired you. I thought I heard a knock on my door. I'm recording, honey. Okay. All right, I'll holler at you when I'm done. That's my kiddo. She's kind of sick right now. Sorry. So, what energy does Allison need to embrace for this gift to pop off for her, for all of this to come together? Because right now I just need to bridge the gap between where you are right now when you're like, really? And in the future when you're like, really? That's my hair flip. I see a lot of hair flipping. You must have like great hair, or great hair will be a part of your future. Like always having it down. So, speaking your intuition is the key. Speaking the things that you don't even know why you know them before they happen, so you can stop having that feeling all the time of, oh, I knew that, I ain't even say nothing. Because that's what I'm getting here. Closed mouths don't get fed. And not following up with action based on your intuition is the blocker here. You gotta jump when you got this gift, baby. Because this is who I've been sensing the whole time. She's an updo chick. She's giving like baps. You are down here, baddie. So, speaking what you hear as you know it intuitively, and then taking action on the steps that you were telling yourself to bring yourself into balance. So, Like that birthday cake analogy I just gave you. Here's another one. Say, and I use this running one all the time. So say you want your next job to be 6 figures, right? Every day suddenly after that you start getting the energy to run or the feeling like I need to go running. And you're like, no, I don't want to run. I need to find this job. I need to be on Indeed. I need to be A, B, C, and D. That running was actually fueling the intention behind what you needed to do, because you need both feminine and masculine energy. So if you get an intuitive ping, the masculine energy needs to match behind it. If you had went running while you was running, you would have got an idea about something, and you would have went back in there and found this new website that is not Indeed or whatever the case may be. And then it would have had a perfect job that lined up with what you wanted. You have to follow the action behind your intuition, even if you don't know why it is there, because it's your higher self telling you something that is putting you 2 or 3 or 4 steps ahead of the game to bridge a gap between times. That's how you jump timelines. You can be right here on this level. And I guess the best way to explain this would be like a lasagna. So your whole life is a lasagna. There are 12 layers on this lasagna you could be at. You start at level 1 or whatever your vibration is, right? But say, for instance, you're meant to be an artist. You could be up here selling paintings at the Met, right? But if you did not timeline hop, or you didn't believe in yourself, or you didn't get into the energy of euphoria or dopamine or serotonin, loving what you do, you would possibly be working at like a BYOB mall shop, right? Where you help people learn how to paint 2 or 3 times a week, instead of up here being paid thousands of dollars for your individual works. That is the difference between your lasagna on the 2nd tier and your lasagna when you have hopped to like the 12th tier of what it is you're meant to do. You were always in the vibration of what you're meant to do in some way, shape, or form. It's just, are you in a lower octave? Are you in a higher octave? This is your song. Where do you want to sing it at? So with that being said, I am getting that I need to dig into what characteristics are being developed in you, and then which characteristics are gonna take you where you're going. Like, what will be the job fulfillment? What will be the roles you'll play in order to get where you want to, based upon your own manifestation. So what parts of Allison is she developing at this time? What parts is she developing at this time? And I'm getting that this is right now for your fall winter arc. This will be developing through Pisces season. Yeah, because technically the real New Year doesn't kick off to Aries season, action season. So motherhood came up. I don't know if you're actually in motherhood area, maybe, but this could be you nurturing something. Could be you nurturing something, some part of you that needed like extra mothering, but you could actually be home taking care of a baby or about to have a baby. But the card says nurturance, patience, unconditional love, joy in giving birth to life. It feels very much like you cultivating, and I keep saying cultivating, you are building something, like an egg within you, waiting to give birth to something, right? So slave and femme fatale. Slave means you ain't got no choice but to listen to source, baby. You ain't got no choice but to go with the flow. And you're going to be learning to just go with that flow. Like, you know what? I don't know why I know it, but every time I listen to me, something good happens. So I'm going to just keep doing it. But there is a healing in your dark feminine energy, right? So what if you're just a naturally blessed person, right? Your whole life you've just been blessed, but that rub other people the wrong way. Just around you hating, just must be nice. So because you started getting feedback from people that you loved and people that you thought cared about you, you started hiding that part of yourself, disconnected from any part of you that will run other people off or make them jealous of you, or just have people have a negative reaction towards you. Those parts of yourself you took away, and they're being reblossoming. So that mothering energy is absolutely you re-stepping back into your authenticity and who you are as a full person. This is like the part of you that needed to hear, baby, people gonna be jealous anyway. Don't let them stop you from being great. That's where your power is. What characteristics will lead Allison to where she wants to go? Which characteristics are leading her towards her manifestation? And I had a card in here that didn't belong, but my eyes are telling me to go back to it. Advocate. Okay? You will find so much fulfillment in working for a cause that you truly believe in. Keep that as a bonus message. So, journalist, chronicler of stories, reporting, interview, inquiry, promotion, right? Painter actually popped up. Depict, sublimate, abstraction, form, sensation. And then careers. So you will have multiple jobs. Dreamer of grand schemes, vision, cunning, aspiration. Bartender came up, but I didn't feel like you were going to be a bartender, right? It felt like dinner meetings that you go to where y'all have drinks and stuff. And the other words on there were small talker, alleviator. This is you going to business meetings and you being, example, Pretty Woman kept popping in my head. I'm like, why would that pop in here? In the movie Pretty Woman, there's a whole business dinner scene where the guys are going at it. They're getting all tense because they're talking about business, and she just pops in like with her girly energy and a great idea. It smooths everything out, and then like when she comes across this person later, like it connects. When you begin networking and going places where people have drinks and like rolling with the big dogs, I'm feeling like you're gonna be a chick amongst a lot of dudes in a field that's usually dominated by them, but you're gonna come in and dominate with your feminine energy. And you're going to get back into some sort of art in some way, shape, or form. You might even do it just for yourself, right? But whatever you're creating or releasing through that art is doing that energy thing I was talking about. That jogging thing I was talking about. 2121 on the clock. So I'm going to pull from this, my Astro Codes deck. We're down to 1 at the end to see where you are going to be headed following this era. What is her trajectory? What is Allison's trajectory following this healing phase that she's in, this shift? An era of sustainability, sustaining your energy, sustaining your blessings, staying in the light, pure happiness. Let me show you so you can't miss this. The sun has popped up several times, which makes me feel like you might be stepping into your solar powered era, which is the Empress energy. So the past had to be cleared out first. You had to review so that you would find out where your communication got blocked, where your mind and your mental processes and the limitations that were placed on you were put there, so that you can pick back up those pieces of yourself, because your true value is in your mind, in the words you speak, in your thoughts, and all those things that you stopped saying because you were around people who weren't ready to hear it. You were going to step into a place where people are going to be in your face like, please tell us more. And you're going to be like, so you needed this time alone with yourself. And you're going to start journaling if you haven't already been. Just getting your thoughts out so that you can see them, so that you can recognize, hold on, people need to hear this. My thoughts have value. You're going to be reassessing your value. This might have something to do with your Chiron also. So I'm going to end with an empowering message. What does Allison most need to know right now? Exploration. That's a nod to that hero's journey again. You're on your trip. Bravely open and connect. It is time to get to know others better. Learn something new about the people in your life and allow them to learn something new about you. That's going to be work stuff. But also forgiveness. That's that childhood stuff, that energy you're clearing. At least now we know what it is. There's something you need to forgive in order for you to be able to move forward. Strangely enough, my eyes were drawn to the hand over the throat, which like, forgive anybody who blocked you from speaking your truth for some reason. Set yourself free. Forgiveness is a powerful act of self-love. Forgive yourself and others. This transformative release will unburden and heal your heart. And your heart is the love center, that solar power. So, grace. And it feels like grace for you and grace for others. You give other people grace that goes along with that forgiveness. But notice divine in the audience. This is those overwhelming synchronicities. Grace is happening with you and through you. Notice any parts of your life that have been touched by blessings or where miracles have occurred. Blessings. Live a blessed life. That old story is that old story. You just need to look back at it so you can have gratitude and say, dang, I survived. Let me go get a drink. Everything that we do and every word that we speak is an opportunity for us to give or receive a blessing. Be the bearer of blessings today. Wouldn't that be wonderful if after a life of going through what you've been through, and recognizing your own blessings, that part of your superpower is that you're able to bless other people just by what you say to them. That's absolutely what you'll be doing in business, and that's why you're going to be blessed, baby. Have a good day.